The new Dragon Ball game, Gekishin Squadra, or just Dragon Ball Unite as I like to call it, is about to open its second network beta test, presumably with every new character they've released a trailer for recently. So in this video, we're going to break down every single character that's been revealed so far, exactly what they're able to do, and from my personal experience from playing the last beta, how some of the older characters will potentially stack up to these newer ones, from DPS who specialize in damage and aggro gameplay, to tanks who feature a self-healing ability and act as a wall to absorb damage for your team, to the technical support characters whose main role is to heal allies and use their own unique kit to disrupt enemies. Consider liking the video for more Gekishin Squadra videos, fellas. Subscribe to the channel and let's get to the first character.
I am the strongest in the universe, and I will prove it! What's the matter? Entertain me! I don't want anyone getting in my way. Do you understand? Feast your eyes on Super Vegeta's Big Bang Attack! Well, come at me!
Alright fellas, so the first character we're going to be checking out in today's video is Super Saiyan Vegeta, man. What, just the big tank right here. Yo, this guy, along with Zamasu in the first beta test, they were just abysmally strong, man. I think Zamasu may be a little bit better early game with Heavenly Arrow and his body regeneration passive, but we'll get into all that a little bit later. So the concept for Vegeta is going to read: raise your resistance every time you land your skills, forcibly move your opponents, tossing them around the battlefield. And this is because Vegeta is going to come with a lot of CC with his skills, so let's take a look. His passive is going to be Prince's Pride. Gain a reduced cooldown effect when your HP is below a certain percentage. Next is going to be his first skill, which is Consecutive Energy Blast, and this is going to read: fire multiple energy blasts, recover armor when you hit enemies, which is really useful. When this skill is at level 3, which is super, it'll cause an explosion that consumes nearby enemies. You can move and change direction while firing. And this attack, along with an attack you're going to see in a second here, basically this attack right here, Photon Bomber, comboing this with literally any of his other skills is just, you're really going to get that burst damage that you're looking for with this character. Even though he is a tank, tanks still deal massive damage in this game. So Photon Bomber is going to read: fire an energy blast and cause an explosion. Enemies are forcibly moved towards the center of the explosion. So this is the move that just swallows everybody to the center of it. An energy blast from enemy rush attacks will be destroyed if hit by the explosion. So as you guys will see here, this is pulling Goku to the center of the blast, making sure he takes all the damage from this attack. And like I said, if you combo this with any of his other skills, that's where all of your burst damage is going to come from. So traps like that can really, you know, snipe a character out if you're able to land Photon Bomber. And it makes moves like Consecutive Energy Blast easier to hit as well. So Explosive Wave is going to be his big get off me skill, and this is going to read: cause an explosion centered around yourself, forcibly move enemies away when it hits, and recover your armor. So armor is going to be another big thing surrounding this character, along with his CC. Vegeta just comes with a lot of disruptive abilities, and he also has that big burst damage if you need it as well. Next is going to be his super attack, Big Bang Attack. Fire an enemy blast that causes a massive explosion, recovers your armor when it hits an enemy. So two of Vegeta's abilities are going to be recovered. Actually, I think, does Consecutive Energy Blast, does that recover his armor too, if I'm not mistaken? Yeah, so he has 3 skills that allow you to recover armor. So this is where Vegeta's tankiness comes from. He might not have a skill like body regeneration like Zamasu does, but he constantly stacks on that armor back onto himself when he's hitting enemies with his skills. So this is going to make sure Vegeta is just extremely strong. And obviously at level 7 he'll be able to transform into Super Saiyan. This is going to raise your base HP, armor, and all attack power.
You're about to find out what it's like to fight a real Super Saiyan. And I'm not talking about Goku. My future is ruined. I'll sacrifice everything to change it. Nowhere to run. I'll finish you. Even if I'm the last warrior in existence, I'll never stop fighting. I will not let the future be destroyed again.
All right, so our next character is going to be our first DPS character of this video, and this is going to be Super Saiyan Teen Trunks, or Super Saiyan Future Trunks. So the concept for this character is going to read: activate your skills repeatedly with overcharge, dominate your enemies, and with mobility and rapid firepower. Now Trunks does have a little bit more mobility than other characters within his skill set. Like you'll see a huge difference with, you know, forward moving skills that he's going to have compared to like Vegeta, which we recently saw. So his passive overcharge, you guys probably were wondering, what is overcharge that we saw in his concept breakdown a second ago? His passive is going to be called overcharge. Skills on cooldown can be reactivated immediately upon defeating or assisting an ally in defeating an enemy, god of destruction, or boss. So I forget, there's a character that I can't put my finger on right now that has an ability like this in another game. I can't remember the exact term for that ability, but in this game is going to be called overcharge. So your goal with Trunks is to finish off enemies with his skills, and this is going to immediately take that skill off of cooldown so you can follow up with the same skill again and try to get a combo on as many enemies as possible. So Trunks is going to really specialize in coming in and finishing off those weak enemies. All right, so his first skill is going to be called Burst Slash. This is going to read: unleash a powerful slash. Damage is further increased against enemies whose HP is below a certain percentage. And this is going to play into exactly what I was talking about on the last clip, where Trunks is really going to specialize in just sniping out those already weak enemies. He's going to be getting a lot of bonuses and effects from doing so, like this, you know, damage further increasing against those enemies who are already pretty weak in battle. And as you can see, let's see if we can play this again. Burst Slash is going to be a slightly forward moving skill, not as much as a couple of Trunks' other skills in this game, but this is going to help you kind of chase down those weak enemies that are trying to run away from maybe you or one of your other teammates. So his next one, this is really where his mobility is coming from in this move right here. This skill is going to be called Vanish Strike. Warp to the target location and perform a slashing attack with your sword. Can warp past walls. So this is going to be a really useful skill for chasing down those weak enemies. Once again, you're going to want to chase them down with a move like this, or even the last one, and this is going to allow you to come right off a cooldown thanks to his overcharge passive. Look at that. You're going to be able to just teleport straight past the wall, teleport straight to an enemy that's trying to run away, maybe through like a not jungle, but like the bushes or whatever they're called in this game. This is going to allow you to chase those weak enemies down. His next skill is going to be Burning Attack. Fire an energy blast, explodes at the point of impact, and generate smoke. So thankfully, Trunks also has a projectile. Not all of his skills in this game are going to revolve around his sword and having to get, I guess, relatively close to the opponent. He also has a move that can just kind of home in on an opponent, and he can just fire this off instead of having to chase them down if he doesn't have his other two skills off of cooldown. This can also be used with overcharge, and you can just kind of get one off if you're able to finish off an opponent like that, and then it automatically comes off of cooldown and you can start getting damage on another opponent as well. So next is going to be Shining Slash. This move is actually pretty freaking massive, man. An attack that combines a slash and a shockwave, gain movement speed up afterwards, can change direction while attacking. So using his Shining Slash super attack and comboing that, well, not comboing, but following up with either his first or second skill, this is where your chase speed is really gonna come from. You don't even have to kill your opponent with this move to get that movement speed up afterwards. So utilizing that movement speed up along with his first two skills, you're really gonna be like, Trunks is really just hawking down all these weak opponents. Anybody that is like below 50% health on the battlefield is at risk of falling victim to Trunks. And just look at this blast. That blast is absolutely massive, man. So he slashes this way. Like they said down here, you can change direction while attacking. So he's able to slash this way towards Goku, and then he can turn around and hit Vegeta with the second part of the attack, which is the big blast. And that blast is absolutely massive, man. Look at that. That blast is absolutely massive, bro. I love Trunks. And obviously at level 7, he's also going to be able to transform, which is a running thing that you guys are going to see throughout this video.
I'm my father's son. I have to finish what he started. Leave it to me. Stop it!
So our first technical character that we're going to be getting into in this video is going to be Kid Gohan, a character that I'm actually pretty interested in trying myself. The concept for this character is going to read power up by sticking close to an ally hero. This is where his passive is going to come in. Unlock your potential to let loose a devastating attack. So his passive skill is going to be Friendship Boost. Stay near an ally hero for a certain amount of time to gain all defense up and apply all attack up to the ally hero. So basically Gohan is going to be pocketing, you know, certain people throughout the match, giving them almost like, when I see Gohan, I kind of think of Mercy from Overwatch a little bit. He's just going to be pocketing like the high damage characters like a Trunks, say, or even, you know, the characters, the more tanky characters with high defense already that can regenerate on their own, like Zamasu. So if you see a Zamasu with a pocket Gohan, or you see a Trunks with a pocket Gohan, you're probably going to die, or you're probably going to get harassed to the point where you just need to retreat. So his first skill is going to be Masenko. Unleash an energy blast. Enemies hit by this attack will be forcibly moved. So Masenko is going to, you see how far that pushed Goku back? That's actually a pretty good distance. And this is something that technical characters are really good at doing as well. While tanks are also utilized to disrupt the enemy, support characters or technical characters also do, you know, pretty much the same exact job, except they're more support oriented and do a little bit less damage than the tank counterparts on the team. Next is going to be Masenkyaku. Rush forward and unleash a roundhouse kick. Charging this attack will increase its range and damage, and when fully charged, it'll stagger enemies on hit. When not fully charged, it applies no skills to enemies on hit. And this move right here, along with his passive and being able to pocket certain characters on the team, this move right here is kind of why I want to try out Gohan. It seems like a move, when I see a move like this is kind of where the skill when using certain characters comes in on, because you have to know when to charge this attack. You have to, you know your ranges when you're charging it up. So it's kind of like a timing thing, and when fully charged, it staggers enemies on hit. So this is where the character that you're pocketing comes in, and they can kind of finish that character off when they're staggered. Look at that. That's some absolutely ridiculous range on this attack when it's fully charged. You would probably have to be in hiding to kind of get this off without the opponent dodging, because you can just like quick dash out of this easily if you see it coming. But I mean, if you're able to hit this on an opponent, and look at this stagger right here, like Goku, he's staggered for a good like second or two. Let's see. Yeah, that's about 2 seconds that he staggered with. If you're able to hit this, another character on your team can easily come in and clean up this kill. Obviously, we can't see how much damage this did to Goku, but I have faith that another character can definitely come in and clean up this kill. Somebody like Trunks again, and a couple of other characters that we'll get to in a second. So his next skill is going to be Leave This to Me. Choose a single ally hero and warp to them. Apply enemy energy defense up to yourself and the chosen ally hero. After warping, create a barrier centered around yourself. Within the barrier, you and the ally hero additionally gain energy defense up, and enemies are afflicted with energy defense down. I feel like they really took a lesson from Overwatch with this character with a skill like this. This just seems like I can't remember the names of all these Overwatch heroes, man. You guys don't know who I'm talking about though. Leave the name down below in the comments, and I'm gonna heart the first person that I see who gets it right, that knows who I'm talking about, where this skill comes from in Overwatch. All right, so his super attack is going to be Exploding Rage. Unleash energy around yourself. Apply strike attack up to ally heroes within the AoE for a limited time. Gain strike defense up and increase the number of your rush attacks. Okay, that's actually a oh my god. I wonder, oh, he has a second super attack. I didn't even know this. See, I'm learning this video. I didn't know that Gohan had a second super attack. His second one is going to be Shattering Beam, and this looks like a follow-up. Can be used while Exploding Rage is active. Charge forward and perform a kick, followed by causing a large energy explosion on the spot. Enemies hit by the initial kick will be staggered. Gohan has 2 staggers in his kit. If he is pocketing somebody that's fully juiced up, that's like 4 levels ahead of him, they're catching bodies.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Bring it on. I'm tired of you and your loud mouth. Hope you're ready. Special beam cannon. a nice chance to test my strength! The best fighters in the cosmos. Doesn't get better than this.
All right, if I'm being honest, this might be my favorite character that I got to play from the first beta. Piccolo is absolutely freaking ridiculous, man. His range is out of this world. If you guys got to play this character, you know exactly what I mean. That's the very first thing I noticed when the game started with this character. His range is just ridiculous. He might have the most range in the game. The concept for this character is going to say your rush attacks and skills have tremendous range. Yeah, they had to address that. The power of Special Beam Cannon increases the longer you charge the attack. And guys, let me tell you, if you charge a Special Beam Cannon all the way, that thing comes out like a Kamehameha, man. That thing comes out like a Final Flash, bro. Special Beam Cannon is large. So his passive is going to read, Ready for Victory. Attacking enemies with a rush attack will temporarily lower cooldowns of skills. In Piccolo, I think this character, his entire moveset is really cool. There's some cool stuff you can do with it, especially with his second skill, I think it is, which is... Okay, so let's start with skill number 1 before I get ahead of myself. So skill 1 is going to be Light Grenade. Fire a powerful energy blast. At skill level 2, an explosion will occur at the point of impact. Damage and AoE of explosion increases the further away a target is. And I hope they show that. Maybe they'll back him up a little bit in this trailer. Okay, I guess not. But you guys see how large this blast radius is? This is Light Grenade, man. His next skill is really cool, though. This is going to be Demonic Floating Blast. This one... There's a lot of applications with this one. It's kind of tricky to use, but once you get the hang of it, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with this. So this is going to read Fire and Energy Blast upwards that'll drop down onto an approaching enemy. If the skill is used again or the skill effect expires, it'll fall to the ground instead. It'll explode after falling, applying movement speed down to enemies hit by the explosion. And let me show you guys something real quick. Look at this absolute minefield above Goku right here. If you think you're getting out of this without getting hit at all, my friend, you are sadly mistaken, man. There's more floating blasts on the screen right now than there are clouds and rock structures. Let that sink in. Watch Goku try to walk through this. Boom, boom, boom. He got hit by 3. Piccolo could just, whenever he wants to, have all of these fall right now. And I think the only... Well, I guess it would be too overpowered if it did this. I wish that they kind of caved in on the enemy when you press the skill button again. And then when the skill effect expires, they just fall straight down. But I wish you could just have them cave in and maybe do slightly less damage if you just press the skill again. See how they just fall straight down? Still a really useful move, though. You can get a lot of different applications with that. Skill 3 is going to read Magic Whip Fist. Stretch your arms and move instantly to any enemies, allied heroes, or walls that you touch. After moving, your next rush attack will release a powerful energy blast and damage will increase. So this is going to be his get out move. His like, not necessarily Spider-Man, but that's kind of like his web slinging maneuver in this game. So his final attack, his special attack is going to be Special Beam Cannon. This, man, Special Beam Cannon, it has, I'm going to just show you guys. It's going to read a beam of energy that penetrates enemies and walls. Holding down the attack button will expend multiple stocks. The more stocks used, the higher the damage and range and just radius of this attack. Look at that. I don't even think that was fully charged up. Look, watch how large this thing is, man. This thing is super Kamehameha. Look at that. Bro, if you get hit by that, yo, that might just be a one shot. Yo, put Goku on his ass. Oh, if you get hit by a charged Special Beam Cannon, and this goes through walls as well, so you can't necessarily hide from it either. You just have to not be in the way. That's the only way. You just got to not be in the way. And that thing did one shot Goku.
I'm ready. 100 times solar flare. Did you see that? Marin's gonna be watching. I gotta show off my cool side. It's all over! I'm not a pushover, you know.
All right, so our next technical character is gonna be Krillin. Now, I didn't get to play as much Krillin as I did Piccolo in the last beta, but his range is just as good as Piccolo's. His concept is gonna read blind enemies and set traps to obstruct them. Debuff your enemies, then finish them with the Ki-Zan, which is Destructo Disc, obviously. Now, Krillin is one of those characters that I feel like it takes a little bit more brain power to play because, as they said in the concept, you get to blind enemies, you get to set up traps and things like that. He's a really fun character to play if you're not necessarily trolling, but you're kind of trying to control the map a little bit better than other characters, not just, you know, run straight in and fight somebody. Krillin is he's a really shifty character if you know what you're doing with him. So his passive is gonna say Technician. Applying Mark to enemies will immediately lower the cooldown on your skills and super attack. Next, his skill 1 is gonna say Placed Energy Blast, and this is pretty much where the setting traps and things like that comes in. Place an energy blast that becomes invisible after a set time. When an enemy hero comes in range, it'll explode after a set time. Shrink field of view and marked are applied to enemies hit by the explosion. So you get to shrink their field of view, and they get marked, which is, you know, can be applied from your passive as well. So this is a really useful skill. A lot of applications with stuff like this. Obviously, like they said, you can kind of set traps with things like this. Krillin is mainly a setup character. He doesn't do the most damage. He can do damage. He doesn't do the most, but he's really mostly there for disruption, setting up traps, obstructing the enemy's objective, and things like that. Look at that. Look at how large these are. These are pretty good size. These are pretty good size traps. Like, somebody is definitely gonna run into these, especially if you place them relatively close together. It looks like the max he can use is 2. I thought that they would give him a third one as the game moved forward, but it looks like 2 is still the max he can use. I think these are way bigger than they were in the last beta too. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong about that, but I feel like in the first beta test, these were not that big. All right, so next is gonna be Solar Flare. Unleash powerful light, applies flash, marking, and all attack down to enemies facing Krillin. This looks like it has a decent amount of range too. Yeah, I'm not sure what the range on Solar Flare is, but that looks like a pretty, okay, maybe, I don't know. That's some good range on Solar Flare, man. And it applies flash, marking, and all attack down to enemies. So Krillin is just gonna be very annoying. A Krillin Piccolo team with maybe like Zamasu or something like that, and we'll have to see the rest of the new characters to maybe put a fourth on the team from that. But that team right there seems really disruptive. Maybe somebody like, well, now I feel like you would need somebody that mainly does a lot of damage alongside Piccolo, because you have a tank, you have a support character. You could use somebody like Gohan to try to pocket Piccolo right there and just make sure you one-shot people with Special Beam Cannon, but I feel like that's already a really strong team right off the bat. Maybe one of the new characters can be a fourth. So skill 3 is gonna say Scattering Energy Wave. Fire a controllable energy blast. When it hits an enemy hero or object, or when the skill is used again, it'll disperse and drop, releasing smoke. The enemy blast, or the energy blast, will pursue any marked enemies caught in the area. So once you mark an opponent and you use skill 3, the energy blast will pursue them, and it'll also obstruct the enemy vision as well with the smoke right here. So Krillin's pretty cracked, man. A really useful, look at all the smoke. Bro, something like this alongside Solar Flare, and you're setting your traps from skill 1, Krillin is, maybe I'm underestimating Krillin a little bit. I'll have to play him a little bit more when the test starts tonight. But there's some applications to a lot of the stuff that Krillin can do that we've seen. All right, so super attack is gonna be Destructo Disc, and this looks like giant Destructo Disc if I'm being honest. So it's gonna say Unleash an Energy Disc. It can penetrate enemy heroes and walls. If an enemy hero is marked, so actually when they say penetrate enemy heroes and walls, I'm guessing this means that it can go through the first enemy and hit an enemy behind them as well. If an enemy hero is marked, the attack will pursue them. So you mark an enemy, and these turn into like Frieza's Destructo Disc that he was using against Goku on Namek, where they were just following him. If an enemy hero with over 3 debuffs comes into contact with the center of the disc, they will receive extra damage. Wow. Oh my god.
My power level is 530,000. But to keep things fair, I'll refrain from using all of my power. Do it.
I'm gonna blow you to pieces! Give it your all!
Look. Beautiful, isn't it? A rare gem indeed. Zarbon, Dborah, it's time.
All right, so now we're getting into our first new character that was not in the last beta. Frieza first form, or as we like to call him, Pod Frieza, is a technical character. Concept for him is going to say move around the battlefield with your subordinate Zarbon and Dborah. First character that we've seen with an ability like this being followed or tailed by two other characters that just aren't in the game right now, which is kind of cool. But maybe this means that Zarbon and Dborah won't be in the game later on as individual characters. Command both of them strategically to dominate the map. So I guess this means that they're going to be a part of Frieza's move kit in some sort of way. Maybe he'll be able to deploy one of them in skill 1 and one of them in skill 2. All right, so his passive is going to be Fearsome Emperor. Increases movement speed during high-speed flight and prevents flight from being interrupted by an attack. Effect will expire after being hit by an attack, but this effect can be used again after a certain amount of time. The only bad thing about this, I guess, and maybe it won't be a bad thing, we'll have to play test tonight, is there is no way Frieza can hide from enemies. Like, if he's getting chased down and he's trying to hide from like a Trunks chasing him or something like that, which is kind of canon, right? Like a Trunks chasing down this Frieza to kill him, there's no way he's gonna be able to hide with Fat Dborah and Zarbon just right on his right and left. All right, so yeah, we kind of figured that this will be the case. Skill 1 is going to be Show Them Zarbon. Position Zarbon, who will attack enemies in the area with Energy Blast. Prioritizing targets in the middle of rush attacks. When his Energy Blast hits an enemy hero, it applies Strike Defense down. Use the skill again to make Zarbon leave his position. So is he kind of placing him like a chess piece? Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay. So you place Zarbon in front of you and he hits them with Elegant Blaster. So let's see what Dborah does. Skill number 2 is going to be Crush Them Dborah. Position Dborah, who will attack enemies in the area with lunge attacks. Okay, so Zarbon did a blast attack, and it looks like Dborah is going to do a strike attack. Prioritizing targets in the middle of rush attacks. When his lunge attack hits an enemy hero, they are forcibly moved. Use the skill again to make Dborah leave his position. Oh, wow. Okay, so... wow, okay, Dborah actually looks pretty freaking cracked, man. Zarbon looks all right, but Dborah actually looks really good. This move is gonna be a problem. All right, yeah, Dborah is gonna be a problem. Skill 3 reads Imperial Decree. Grant you and allied heroes movement speed up and create an area that raises Zarbon and Dborah's attack speed. If allied heroes Zarbon or Dborah are nearby when the skill is activated, the effects will last longer. So this is like his, I guess, Lucio effect or Storm from Marvel Rivals. That's what I'm getting from this right here. That actually really looks like Lucio, a Lucio ability though. Okay, and this is Dborah's attack speed going up when he activates skill 3. Yo, do you know how annoying that's gonna be, man? I can already see the applications with I gotta play this character. It's his last. Okay, I was hoping it was gonna be Supernova. Drop an enormous energy blast. Charging the attack increases the size of the energy blast, improving range. All enemies in the super attack AoE will be afflicted with all attack down. I was hoping that Supernova wasn't just gonna be like a Goku Spirit Bomb in this game. Like, it looks like you actually get to like toss it across the screen. I think Spirit Bomb just goes straight down, right? Look at this, just mow him down. Oh my, yo, is Supernova bigger than Spirit Bomb? Bro, look at that. And they have all of that AoE to get caught in to get afflicted with all attack down. The whole team's getting afflicted with all attack down. There's no dodging that. There's no dodging Supernova at all.
Looks like fun! Let's play! Here you come! Fix you now! Need mad now! How about this?
All right, so our next character is going to be another technical role. This is going to be Majin Buu. And out of everybody that we talked about so far outside of Frieza, because he's the first new character, Majin Buu might be the one that I'm least familiar with. I've pretty much always had one on my team when I played, but I never played as Majin Buu. I just didn't really care to. But he is actually going to be a really support oriented character. The concept for him is going to read: heal the HP of yourself and your allies. Use Candy Ray to turn enemy heroes into candy and eat them up. So let's see. Majin Buu's passive is going to say Majin Menace. Gain stock when healing yourself or allied heroes, or when you apply debuffs to enemy heroes. Rush attacks consume stocks for a damage boost. And I'm assuming that you can't control your rush attacks consuming those stocks. So I'm assuming that you just use them as you get them. All right, skill 1 is gonna be Strangle Gum. If you guys play fighters, man, you know all about this move right here. Throw in Ensnaring Gum applies all attack down and movement speed down to enemies, and also causes their hitbox to expand. I actually didn't know that. So all of this is the enemy's hitbox right now. Oh my god, a third one? All of this right here is the enemy's hitbox, guys. Okay, over time it does shrink down. All right, skill 2 is going to be Healing Ray. Heal the HP of yourself and your allies. The healing effect increases the closer the ally is and stops if they move too far away. Higher levels of this skill allow you to heal more ally heroes at once. Can move while using the skill. So this is your Mercy Healing Beam right here. Skill number 3. So far, Majin Buu is pretty straightforward. Skill number 3 is going to be Ready Go. Attack while moving. Applies strike defense up to yourself. Applies no skills to any enemies you hit, and forcibly moves them. So this is going to be kind of like what Dborah was doing for Frieza. You can change direction while moving or cancel by using the skill again. Changing direction while moving is unfortunately something that Dborah couldn't do, but I mean that Dborah skill, I shouldn't be talking about that while we're doing Majin Buu, but that Dborah skill, like, I'm so excited to use that. That just looks like the most annoying thing that I've seen so far. All right, and his super attack is gonna be Candy Ray. Turn that boy into a big sundae. Fire a beam of light that turns enemy heroes into candy. That's not candy, that's a sundae. And creates an AoE that heals the HP of yourself and ally heroes. The more enemy heroes you turn into candy, the greater the healing effect. I wish we could see how much that healed right there.
Witness the power of the Demon King.
You're mine.
Be gone! Don't think you can escape from me! I'll send you all to hell! Now you realize the difference in our power.
All right, time for our next new character after Frieza to Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra. This is going to be Dborah, a character that I'm really excited to play, especially after watching his trailer a second ago. His role is going to be DPS, and the concept for this character is going to say stay close to your enemies with this hero, applying petrification to gain additional firepower. Fill up the petrification gauge, then unleash devastating damage. And this is the first character that we've seen so far that has petrification in his kit. So I can't wait to see what he's able to do. So his first skill is going to be, or his passive actually, excuse me, is going to be Demon's Domain. Fill the petrification gauge of enemy heroes within a certain proximity. When their petrification gauge is full, you can use a rush attack to petrify them, stopping their movement and increasing your damage against them. Okay, and as you guys can see right here, the little Dborah gauge that popped up under Goku, that's going to be the petrification gauge. It looks like it doesn't really fill up the fastest, but I guess when you're in the middle of fighting them, the range on this Demon's Domain is actually pretty large. So as long as you're staying like, as long as you're engaging with that same opponent, or it doesn't even have to be that same opponent, as long as there's anybody in your area for a certain amount of time, this is gonna get filled up. And then once it's filled, you can use your rush attack. Oh, after the petrification gauge is filled up, the next rush attack that you do is gonna be his spit, where he turns them to stone. And let's see how long this changes them. Okay, so his first skill, it didn't show how long that they were gonna stay turned to stone. Maybe the next time you hit them or something like that, or hit them with a skill. So his skill number 1 is gonna be Doom's Ray. Blow up target enemy. Bro, I love how that sentence is just blow up target enemy. If this attack hits an enemy hero, it fills their petrification gauge. The lower their petrification gauge is, the more petrification will be applied. Also generates an aftershock ahead of you. Activates quicker if you used after a vanishing step. Okay, so this is kind of like what he did to Kibito in the anime, right? Basically, this activating quicker after you use a vanishing step. So if you guys remember when Dborah, when he noticed the Z fighters on that cliff watching him in Babidi, he immediately appeared in front of Kibito and just straight blasted him in the face. I think this is what this is alluding to, right? Yeah, that's the same exact move. I wish they would have showed it after a vanishing step right there, but that's just something that we'll have to test ourselves later on. So skill number 2 is going to be Darkness Spear. Throw out spears, apply no vanishing step to the enemy heroes they hit. Oh, I like this character. I'm gonna be playing Dborah, man. I like this character. Gain movement speed up when approaching an enemy hero hit by this skill. So they can't vanish step away, and you get movement speed up when you're approaching this character. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, he threw out 3, right? Yeah, he threw, look at this on the ground. You can see the marks. He threw out 3 spears. And Goku got hit by this one. He has movement speed up. He's going to get petrification gauge up once he gets him in front of this range. And he's going to get applied with no vanishing step as well. There's a lot of utility on Dborah. I'm liking this character. All right, next skill is going to be Evil Flame. This is going to be skill number 3, Spit Flame. Yo, bro, the one-liner sentences for Dborah are actually pretty fire, man. Spit Flames applies movement speed down to enemies hit. Enemy heroes hit will also be afflicted with burning, and their petrification gauge will be filled. Can move and adjust aim while using this skill. Oh my god, yo, the radius on that is actually pretty crazy. So this afflicts them with burning, and it fills their petrification gauge, and they get hit with movement speed down. Bro, there's so much utility with Dborah. I think we're gonna see Dborah on like every team in this next beta. Okay, so his super attack is gonna be Evil Blast. I'm saying that right now. Until we see somebody that has more utility and looks cooler than this and is more fun, I can almost guarantee there will be a Dborah on every team tonight. So super attack is gonna be Evil Blast. Unleash a powerful energy blast attack. Fills the petrification gauge of enemy heroes on hit. Okay. So, wow, that just completely destroyed the stage right there. Did you guys see that? Just got hit with a bomb right there. Okay.
A nice little spot. From now on, it belongs to me.
Too bad.
I look forward to killing you all personally. Try dodging this. Nothing will survive. No matter how advanced you are, you'll never match up to us.
All right, did I speak too soon, man? Bojack got the whole squad with him, and I think this is another transforming character as well. Full Power Bojack is going to be our next DPS damage role. The concept for this character is going to say a hero specializing in group tactics by saying, you know, the rest of the gang is going to be there as well, who dominates the battlefield with AoE energy attacks and explosives. All right, so his passive is going to say Galactic Assassin. If a rush attack is used against an enemy hero damaged by your skills, your subordinates will perform a follow-up attack. Yo, this is so freaking fire, man. We got the rest of the, we got Gokua. Where's Zangia? I forgot this little guy's name. I know Gokua and Zangia though. There's my boy. Oh my god, bro, Bojack is so cool, man. Bojack is so cool. If it's between him and Dborah, I don't know yet. We got to see the rest of the skill set. So skill 1 is going to be Galactic Buster. Fire 2 energy blasts that explode on impact. I'm pretty sure that is what we saw in the first clip, right? Yeah. Oh my goodness. That was actually pretty freaking fast. So skill 2 is going to be Cosmic Bloom. Scatter energy blast. They'll explode when hit by an energy attack from an enemy or ally hero, or after a set amount of time passes. Can move and change direction while using this skill. Okay, so this is kind of like, this reminds me of Piccolo's second skill, if I'm not mistaken. where he sets up the ki blast in the air, but Bojack has that on the ground. And it looks like they explode better than Piccolo's too. Okay, and you're able to combo this with your skill 1 also, and this is gonna set them off. This is gonna detonate them too. So skill number 3, this is the one right here that makes me want to play this character. Skill number 3 is gonna be Psycho Thread, and I'm so glad that they implemented this on this character in this game, man. That is such a nice touch. Call upon your subordinates and send out threads of energy. Applies movement speed down and damages enemies within the AoE. Subordinates will retreat if damaged, but their number will increase according to the level of the skill. And after dealing continuous damage, an additional explosion occurs based on the number of subordinates remaining. So this is a Psycho Thread at maximum power. All right, and his super attack is going to be Giga Grand Smasher. Call upon your subordinates to fire 5 energy blasts. After a set amount of time, the energy blast will converge at the center. Oh, that's actually pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie, that's a pretty fire super attack. And of course, he's gonna be able to transform. Follow-up attacks from subordinates during Galactic Assassin will deal enhanced damage.
That is my justice. I overflow to all mortals. That is my justice. I overflow with joy, feasting on my own perfection. I told you I'm immortal. Vile sinners. My justice will be your end! I will save creation from the scourge of mortal kind.
All right, so next is gonna be what possibly could have been the scariest character to see across from you in the last beta, Zamasu, the other tank alongside Vegeta that was pretty scary to see as well. So the concept for this character is gonna read: body regeneration brings you back even after getting knocked out, stay on the front line and disrupt the battlefield, and that he did so well. Body regeneration is so strong. So his passive is going to be body regeneration. Attack enemy NPCs and bosses with your skills, excluding super attacks, to charge your regeneration gauge. The regeneration gauge will deplete as it heals your base HP. If the gauge is at a certain amount when you're knocked out, you'll revive. As you guys can see, the immortal Zamasu, just unkillable, man. Just an unkillable tank unit of a man. Skill 1 is going to be Heavenly Arrow. This thing is so powerful when you level up. You can literally just kill opponents with this one skill. You don't have to combo anything. Heavenly Arrow alone, as you get to those higher levels, will just take out pretty much anybody besides like another tank or somebody constantly getting healed. So it's going to read: fire energy blast in succession. Enemy heroes that get hit will be afflicted with movement speed down. This is really useful early game especially. You can move and change direction while firing. So one thing that I like to do with this move, and I saw a lot of other people using as well, this move is really useful when you're trying to run away from an enemy, because you can back up and shoot them with this, and this slows them down, so it makes it easier for you to get away. Skill number 2 is going to be Divine Rush. Look at that. That attack reminds me of Trunks' skill 2 as well, I believe. Lunge forward and unleash an attack. Enemy heroes hit by this attack are forcibly moved out of the way. Skill number 3 is going to be Fierce God Slasher. Sweep the area around you with a horizontal slash. Continuous damage will be applied to enemies hit by the attack. An energy slash is unleashed along with the sweep. Can move while using this skill. And his super attack is going to be the Zero Mortal Plan, or Zero Mortal Project as they call it here. Drop an energy blast down on yourself. Gain immune to all. A movement speed down area is created at the point of the energy blast impact, with the effect increasing near the center. So if you guys notice, like, I'm not spending too much time on Zamasu because this is probably outside of like Goku and maybe Vegeta. This right here is the character that you saw the most if you played the last beta. Like, this guy was everywhere, and he was rightfully so because he is extremely strong, and it doesn't look like he's changed that much, but we'll have to see. The effect on that was so cool, man. Like the everything kind of swirling around the center right there. That effect right there is so cool, man. And you can see Goku getting hit with the movement speed down as well. He's getting a little faster the closer he gets to the edge, but when he was at the center, he was extremely slow.
If you're itching for a fight, that's fine by me. My time to shine. Ha! Ah! I've got you pegged. Ah! Hell yeah! Take that! Come on, shape up! Out of my sight! Ah! Don't worry, I'll protect you. Let's finish it. Did you see that? That's my power!
All right, so next, and I actually didn't expect this, Caulifla is gonna be a tank character. Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla, the concept for her is gonna read, any and all opponents can bring it on. Provoke enemies to protect your allies and boost your own damage. So I know absolutely nothing about this character, but I'm ready to get my thoughts on this. I liked what I saw in her initial trailer. Her passive is gonna read, bring it on. Enemies you have provoked will deal less damage to you. Okay, so I'm guessing you apply provoked when you attack them with something, if I'm seeing that right, and she gets reduced damage after they've been provoked. So her first skill, I think this is the one that we saw her use in the passive clip, is going to be called Storm Kick. Attack with a triple roundhouse kick, applies provoked to enemy. Yeah, okay, so it does apply provoked when you attack an enemy. Applies provoked to enemies you hit. If the attack hits at close range, the duration of provoked will be extended. Can move and change aim direction while using this skill. Skill number 2 is going to be Blaze Dive. Fire an explosive energy blast, performs a follow-up attack to enemy heroes on hit. Provoked enemy heroes will take additional damage. The range on that was actually pretty good. Let me see that again. Okay, that's actually a pretty cool move. She fires the energy blast and then she follows up with the kick on hit. And obviously if they're provoked, they take more damage. So skill 3 is going to be Energy Release. That was a massive radius right there. Release a field of energy around you, blocks enemy energy attacks and prevents them from approaching. Applies movement speed up to self after activation. So actually, let me look at this one more time, because for that radius to be that big and you're getting buffs when this hits, or not even when it hits, you get the buff on activation. So it blocks enemy energy attacks and prevents them from approaching. So this also this skill right here, this is extremely strong. Just off first read, this is extremely strong. So just on activation, not even having to hit an opponent with this, which with as big as this is, I don't know why you wouldn't hit an opponent, but this is also going to block energy attacks too and prevent enemies from just walking straight through this, obviously. And it applies you with movement speed up. And her super attack is going to be Crush Cannon. Wow. And she can move while doing this. Okay, so release a large amount of energy, applying provoke to any enemies it hits, can move and change direction while using this skill. This actually looks really cool how she was moving with this. That looks really cool, man. And if they're provoked, obviously that's going to do more damage, but if they're not provoked, they are going to be provoked when that hits them. Look at Vegeta right here, and also Goku as well. Caulifla looks really fun. I don't know if she's my favorite new character so far. I really like Dborah and I really like Bojack, but she looks really fun. She looks really aggressive, so I can't wait to see how people implement this character in their teams. And obviously at level 7, she's going to be able to transform, and this is going to raise damage reduction of her passive.
Goku made me strong, so I could make things right. I won't lose! Now to finish you all! I'll give them a fight they'll never forget.
All right, so what they just did right here, this is fan service right here. They actually put Maju, I'm not even gonna call him Super Oob. They put Maju in the game this early. Maju is gonna be a damage DPS role, and the concept for this character is gonna say make use of Cyclone to power up your rush and super attacks. Keep doing continuous damage and break through the enemy's front lines. Yo, Bandai, shout out to y'all for putting Oob in the game frame one, man. We love this. Trust me. I think I can almost speak for everybody when I say this was a great move right here. Oob does not get the love he deserves in Dragon Ball Super right now, so putting him in as many games as possible, man, we as the fans, we love this. So his passive is going to be Cyclone Stream. Gain Cyclone when you activate certain skills or your super attack. Deplete Cyclone when performing a rush attack and gain an additional attack. Cyclone will gradually deplete over time. So Cyclone, it looks like, is going to allow you to do certain combos that may not have been possible before. But I don't know. Right now, okay, I think I'm understanding how that works, but I'm going to have to try that out myself to really see. So skill 1 is going to be Rage Barrage. Fire multiple energy blasts that fan out in a targeted direction. Gain Cyclone on activation and gain additional Cyclone when enemies are hit. Can move while using this skill. Okay, this is what we saw in the first clip. Okay, so I think I understand Cyclone a little bit more now. Okay, so skill 2 is going to be Brutal Buster. Generate a shockwave around yourself for a set time. Rush attack speed will increase, and the range of rush attack in skill 3 will increase. You will gain the no attack obstruction effect. Oh, wow. Okay, so you use up Cyclone. Okay, I think I see how Oob is meant to be played now. This is how Oob gains access to those combos that may not be possible with other characters. Cyclone is gonna open up a lot of damage and a lot of combo potential with him. So skill 3 is gonna be Shooting Chaser. After dashing in a certain direction, fire energy blast at enemies in the area. Gain Cyclone when you hit enemies. Okay, so Oob's damage potential is just, if this works how I think it's supposed to work, Oob's burst damage potential should be the best in theory, right? I could be wrong about that, but just what I'm seeing right now and what I'm reading, Oob's burst damage potential and the amount of hits that he's able to get on certain characters to maybe like bypass certain healing passives and things like that, he should be able to mow characters down if he has Cyclone all the way built up. So his super attack is going to be Cyclone Burst. Expend all stored Cyclone to unleash a huge energy attack in a certain direction. Damage increases based on Cyclone amount at activation. Gain Cyclone when you hit enemies. Enemy heroes below a certain amount of HP when hit will be afflicted or inflicted with candy status. Bro, that... Okay, so he has Candy Beam, but it just does a bunch of damage too. Is that what I'm seeing right now? Damage increases based on Cyclone amount when activation. So if you have Cyclone fully built up, this is not only going to turn them into candy and allow you to this should heal teammates, right? Enemies below a certain amount of HP when hit will be afflicted with candy status. So if this works like it does on Majin Buu, this should heal teammates, but this is going to do mad damage to them as well. If Cyclone is all the way
Perfect. Your body is mine for the taking. What amazing power! Now you will serve me. Into the trash! They are me, I'm them. We're one. I shall have my vengeance, Saiyan! It's all falling into place.
Baby, the tank is in the game. I literally cannot believe that they put the character in this game. This might be my new favorite character, man. He's a tank. They really let him do the thing too. They let Baby do the thing. Obviously, that's like a core part of his character, him stealing bodies. But I cannot wait, man. This is gonna be so fun. This might be the most fun character outside. I still think Dborah is gonna be really fun as well. But this character right here, extremely cool just off of first impression. So his concept is gonna say use possession on both enemy and ally heroes. So you can possess allies too. Okay. Stubbornly survive on the front lines by using possession. So this is gonna be how Baby is able to just stay alive in situations where he absolutely should not. So his passive skill is going to say possession. This is going to be on enemies. Possess a target enemy hero when you land a finisher. You can use some of their skills while they're possessed. Possession effect ends when the target respawns or when their HP is depleted. Okay, so there is a limit on possession, thankfully, because this could get broken really fast. All right, so skill number 1, I feel like it ending when they respawn. I mean, I guess it's probably, so the way I think would be smart to use Baby, because as you guys know, I think it's what, the more often you get killed, the longer your respawn time is. So maybe Baby should just kind of like focus one character on the other team, and then maybe like third time they get killed or something like that, third or fourth time they get killed, then you possess them and you'll be able to have them for what, like 20 or so seconds. That's enough time to do some serious damage if you still like a Trunks or something like that. That's going to be really useful. You just have to be smart with how you apply it. So skill number 1 is going to be Finger Blitz Barrage. Unleash an AoE attack in a targeted direction. Enemies hit will be forcibly moved. Can move while using this skill. So I'm assuming since possession can theoretically be really broken, maybe his skills won't be the strongest, but we'll see. Energy Explosion. Skill number 2, unleash continuous AoE attacks centered around yourself. Gain strike defense up. Apply movement speed down to enemies hit by the attack. Each time the attack hits an enemy hero, cooldown on possession allies will decrease. Can move while using this skill. Okay, actually this one seems pretty strong. His second skill actually seems pretty strong, and this is just going to be a constant shockwave around him, centered around him, that he can move with. Skill number 3 is going to be Possessions, the Allies variant, and Backup Fire. Possess a target ally, apply Still Life to the possessed ally hero. Your HP will replenish over time, and you can use Backup Fire to attack enemies. The HP of the possessed ally will recover when Backup Fire hits an enemy. So you're both getting healed here depending on how you use this ability. Your HP is just going to replenish while you're, taking over your ally. But if you use Backup Fire, you're also going to be able to heal your ally as well. So both of you could come out of this skill full health if you use it, intelligently, I guess. And his super attack is going to be Revenge Blast. Unleash a shockwave centered around yourself. You will receive additional HP depending on the number of enemy heroes hit by the attack. If the attack hits an enemy hero, the damage of this skill will increase the next time it is used. Wow. Oh, damn. Okay. You'll receive additional HP. Look at all that additional HP, man. Good lord. Bro got like 4 health bars. And he only hit 2 enemies. Imagine hitting a whole team with that, guys. I hope you enjoyed the breakdown of every single character that we will hopefully see in tonight's beta test for Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra. Make sure you guys go sign up, or I guess just join the beta test. I don't think you have to sign up. But anyways, fellas, let me know down below in the comments which characters you're going to be focusing on the most. Right off the top of my head, I really want to play Dborah, I want to play Bojack, and I want to play Baby, man. As far as heroes go, I really like using Vegeta, and I like Trunks as well. So I like Piccolo too, but I'll probably try to focus a little bit more on Trunks since I played him a lot less than Piccolo in the last beta. So Trunks, Vegeta, Dborah, Bojack, and Baby is probably going to be the characters that I focus on. Let me know who you're going to be playing down below when the beta test for Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra goes live tonight, guys. Have a great day. Don't forget to leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel for more Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra videos like this. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace.